Hey everybody, GladDAD here with that deck profile you guys have been waiting on. This is going to be my pure Glad Beast profile for the October 2021 format. I've been testing a lot. We had some new nice cards come out of the Megaton, mostly crossout designator. But I've been really tweaking this because I really want to make it as competitive as possible for you guys, especially, because it's a real heavy combo deck, but it comes with a lot of 2 to 3 card combos. Not so many one, except for Rabbit. So you don't want to flood it with too many hand traps because then you don't have enough combo pieces to actually do your combos and stuff that you'd like to do. But I've kind of worked out a ratio where it seems to work pretty well. You normally maybe open up with 1 to 2 hand traps, not too many to flood your engines out. I tweaked the extra deck a little bit. I also tweaked the side deck a little bit. And I remember my side deck caters more to my locals. I don't know about your guys's, but I can give you guys, obviously recommendations on what you want to play in the side deck. But we'll go ahead and get right into the main deck. As you guys can see, our first card is obviously 3 of my favorite, boy in the deck. We have the triple Rescue Rabbit. This, in my opinion, is the best card in the deck. I wouldn't change it. I really like him. Can we? Oh, nope. Hold on. The collector rare. All right, back out. Okay, so you get 3 Rescue Rabbit. For those of you who don't know what he does, he just brings 2 normals from the deck and by banishing himself for cost. So, okay, we'll go ahead and get into the next one. The best Glad Beast in the deck, in my opinion, is 3 Gladiator Beast Ondal, just a normal monster. 19 beater, really decent. He is not a brick in this deck. He gets your plays going. He allows you to kind of play through Nibiru, actually, because of the Link Spider in the extra deck. If you have one of these in hand and they nib you, you can actually keep going. But we also have another thing to combat nib this format, so you guys will see. So on to the next one. We play 2 Augustus. Only 2. He is your only big brick in the deck, aside from the hand traps, in my opinion. The only time he's a brick is if you open up 2 of them. You do kind of want to see one of them in your opening hand, but he's too much of a brick that you don't want to open both. That's why you don't play 3. And then the last high level one we play is the 1 Vespasius. This is mostly your rejection target, but he also happens to be a battle trap. When Glad Beast monster battles an opponent's monster, at the start of the damage step, you can drop him, and all monsters on the field gain 500. It doesn't act. The gain 500 is not an activated effect, so he just drops and boom. So it's nice, and it's whenever a Glad Beast battles too. So it's not just when you declare; it's when your opponent declares too. So on to our 1-ups. We play the 1 Torix. She is basically your Gladiator Beast, Elemental Hero Prisma. She'll dump 1, copy its name and level. She's basically acts as your 3rd Augustus, but she's searchable. We do play the 1 Darius. He's a great extender from getting things back from the graveyard. He's also a Beast Warrior, so you can search him. He allows you to link climb like crazy. I did for this format, I took Esadari out of the extra deck. Normally this guy plays really well into Esadari because he'll summon himself. He'll summon another Glad from grave, and you tag them into Esadari. Then you have a level 5 with another level 5 to make your tamer. But I've been doing some testing, and that combo doesn't come up as much right now. So I went ahead and took the Esadari out of the extra deck. If you want to keep the Esadari in the extra deck, you can go ahead and take out the other stuff you'll see in my extra deck. We'll get to that more when we get to it. You play the 1 Aquise, fetches cards back from the graveyard. Also the Wing Beast, so he's really good to help you get into your some more Link plays. And then the best boy in the deck, the Gladiator Beast Bestiary. I still love this as a 1-of. You can force back row with him early game, which is really nice. In the grind game, he just allows you to kind of hard make geysers. So that's why we still play the 1 to hard make the geysers. So that way, if our opponent outs our Tamer Editor, we can still go ahead and go off. Now on to the non-Glad Beast monsters in the deck. We do play the triple Test Tiger. This is still the best extender, the only / best extender in the deck. It's also Ash Bait, Link Climbing, whatever you'd like to use it for. It's really nice. He can tribute himself to send 1 Glad back to the deck to special it, a different one from the deck, but it's also treated as being summoned by the effect of a Gladiator Beast. So then our last monster is the Barrier Statue of Stormwinds. I don't like playing this card because it makes me feel a little bit degenerate, but this card is just too good not to play, and there's the only deck that can really heavily play around it, and that's if they have specific opening hands, is Tri Brigade. Other than that, it kind of like, you can almost make this no matter what your hand is. So like that's the kind of the reason I play it, so that way you don't just end on an empty board after your Nibiru or stuff. Like you can, there's a ton of ways to like get into this. Onto the hand traps we play. We do play a variety of hand traps for a specific reason. So we do play 2 Ash. I know most people will play 3. We do play 2 Valor. We do play 2 Imperm. And then we do play 1 Nibiru. I'm guessing a lot of you guys can obviously tell why the ratio is like this. This is a 42 card deck. If you want, you can cut either the Imperms or the Valors. I would still highly recommend playing the Ash and the Nib. The reason I'm playing 2 of everything is so that way I can fit it all into one deck without flooding it too much, because I know most people are like 3 and then 2, 2, 2, 2 of everything else. You play the 1 Nib for crossout designator, because, I mean, you can play through Nib most of the time, but this is just nice to have it so that way, you know, and if you see it, it's not dead because you can use it against your opponent. But that's what I feel. These are the really good hand traps right now for the format and for my locals. I'm not playing Ghost Belle because I didn't really have the room to play Ghost Belle. I mean, you can side her or you can play her over like the Imperms and stuff. Just Imperm and Valor right now is really, really, really good against the decks that are on format, like Virtual World and stuff like that. Then on to the rest of the spells. We'll play triple Gladiator Beast Proving Ground, which this is your own version of Rhoda. It lets you add 1 Gladiator Beast monster from your main deck to your hand, level 4 or lower. And then we'll go to the best spell in the deck, which is the Gladiator Beast Monster Reborn, the comeback. It summons from hand or graveyard, does not target, so it's really nice. Your opponent has to respond to the activation. They cannot wait for you to select your target. Or reveal where you're summoning from. But also, the monster that is brought back off this card cannot be destroyed by battle, so you can use that to your advantage quite a bit, actually. Okay, then we have 3 Gladiator Rejection. This card is still bonkers. I still like to play it at 3. It turns Imperm off, it turns Valor off, it turns targeting effects off. It's really, really nice when your opponent can't target your things. So this literally just makes the only like vulnerable monster in your main deck the statue and the rabbit. So once you get past the rabbit and you have this card, normally it's smooth sailing into what you need to get into. Then we play 3 Unexpected Die. I was going to cut this down to 2, but with the testing that I've done, I really still solidly like it at 3 because you still do play 3 normals. It still is a quick way to thin out your deck, and it is also a very good Ash bait. And then 3 of the newest card, which I hope you guys can get your hands on, are 3 crossout designators. This card is going to completely warp this next format. I think it is. It's going to literally change up. Either people are going to go from playing 15 hand traps to no hand traps, so that way this card becomes useless, or they're going to go to, like I showed you guys, where they're going to be like 2, 2, 2, or 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 of all the hand traps, just so they have an answer to everything. I've already seen Salad starting to do it. They've already started to like do the 1 of Bell, the 1 Nibiru, so that way their combo doesn't end in Nibiru every time. Tri-Brigade are main decking these right now, so that way they can hit the enemy revolt in the mirror match and stuff like that. So this is really nice. So you guys also, if you guys do have this, think about that in your side deck, this card completely just renovates the whole next format, because this card alone can hit anything. As long as you have 1 copy of it in your deck, you can hit anything. So literally, like if you want to, like you don't like the Tri-Brigade matchup, you can literally side a Tri-Brigade revolt into your deck and cross out it when they activate theirs. I mean, I know you could obviously easily just Bell it too. Bell works a lot easier. But if like, it's just options. I mean, there's all sorts of ways that this card is going to, I think, warp this next format. You know, I'd like to hear you guys' opinion on this card too and what you guys think about it. Maybe my hand trap lineup, but what you guys think would change and stuff. But like I said, mine caters more to my locals currently. You know, when we get back to bigger events and stuff, it'll be a lot easier for me and you guys to kind of talk and give feedback to each other on what kind of stuff we think the format's going to hold, how it's going to warp and stuff like that. So then we got our last couple spells. We have the 1 Monster Reborn. We have the 1 World Legacy Succession, because, you know, in this deck, we do love seeing a lot of ways to get our stuff back. And then the 1 Call By we're still going to play, because this is literally a 4th copy of Crossout, but only for hand traps. So that is it for the main deck. So we'll go ahead and get into the extra deck so you guys can see what kind of changes I've made to this deck going into this next format. Typical, first we're going to start off with the 2 Test Panthers. When he Link Summoned, he adds a Gladiator Beast card from your deck to your hand that lists Gladiator Beast in the name. And then he also acts like a Test Tiger, where he will target another Glad Beast on the field, shuffle them back into the deck, and then special a different one. But unlike Test Tiger, with him you cannot summon back the same one. Test Tiger, you can literally shuffle back Bestiary and summon Bestiary. Excuse me. Onto the one Link Spider. You guys heard me mention him earlier in the combo. Obviously, pretty standard. You do play 3 normal monsters, so he just allows you to play through Nibiru. He also allows you to get rid of the Nibiru token, and he allows you to, if you open up with too many normals, just be able to still play your hand. Then we have the 1 IP Masquerena. I still like this card. Being able to make a unicorn on your opponent's turn is still very beneficial. And then still being able to quick go into an Appaloosa or an access code that can't be destroyed by card effects is just really nice. Then the new high edition that a lot of you guys have been wondering why I haven't been playing this card, and this is the card that I used to replace Esadari this format, is Cross Sheep. Cross Sheep has become a lot better, I think, going into this next format with the amount of, like, how my extra deck is played lately due to the decks on format, like Virtual World, and then also for Sword Soul to come. I think this is a really good adaptation to the extra deck. Just the ability to get another monster back so you can go ahead and link climb into a bigger Appaloosa or into something else is really nice. It's also a generic link too, so it allows you to just go ahead and get rid of any monsters on your field to go into this. Make your Tamer Editor, special something back, Tamer Editor effect, summon something. You know, it's really bonkers to just use this card. I kind of like it a little bit more than Esadari. But if it does go to conflict too much with the Darius, where you guys feel like you need to have that other level 5 in the extra deck so you can help your main deck go faster, then you can swap the Cross Sheet back out for the Esadari. It'll still work just fine. Or you guys can go ahead and just drop the Darius from the main deck and play an extra Noxus. That way you have another level 5 in the main deck instead of the extra deck. Then we'll go ahead with our standard Link 3s. Obviously, we do play the Samorg Link. We do play the Barrier Statue. This guy also gets you any winged beast monster in your deck at the end phase. So you can get your Bestiary, your Augustus at the end of your opponent's turn. It just provides anti-targeting to and anti-card destruction. We do play the standard Unicorn, like you guys heard me before. I am currently looking for a collector rare unicorn, so if anybody has one, let me know. I am in the market for one. Pretty standard, you know, just link climb, link 3 into bigger monsters. Also allows you to spin a card in your opponent's turn with IP. We do play the 1 Appaloosa because you still can end on multiple negates, and Appaloosa still forces your opponent to like really have to play carefully. And then last but not least, the big guy. We do play the 1 access code for the last link in the deck. It's another boss monster aside from Damatianus, just to help you push for game. Now on to my favorite part of the extra deck, the Glads. So we do still play the 2 Tamer Editors because 1 is not enough and this card is busted with a capital B. Like, why are you allowed to, it's a walking double evolution pill. Why am I allowed to do this for free? But ooh, excuse me. But he is another reason as to why I love crossout this format, because, and he's another reason why I play like the Nib in the main deck, the Valor and the Imperm, so they can't stop this card. Then we play 2 of my big favorite boy himself, 2 Damatianuses. Obviously, he's a monster effect negate, negates the activation and destroys. He also controls the battle phase. It's not an activated effect. When your opponent declares an attack, you get to choose the attack targets. So, he's really nice. He's still my favorite boy. Then on to the last one, the Herculinos. Or not the last one, the second to last one. We do play the 1 Heraclinos. Obviously, spell and trap negates. He is not a once per turn as long as you have cards in your hand to discard. This card was bonkers back in the day. I think he's still bonkers now. Then on to my second favorite guy in the extra deck, the 1 Geizerus. Now, you can either use this to... Ooh, excuse me. You can either use this to make the Smorg link, or you can use it to go ahead and just pop cards on your opponent's side of the field, enter battle, tag, bring out the 2 Augustuses or the Best Beast Augustius, go in the Tamer Editor, make the Domitianus. You can literally use this guy to make the board, as long as you can get into him. Then we'll go ahead and get onto the side deck. I play 3 Forbidden Droplets. I still think this card is really good because you can't respond to it. It's really nice. So, also the ability to just send any card on the field in response to this. I also kind of want to play it because you can, oh, what's the card? Crossout Designator this, as long as they don't send a spell off of it. It's funny. Then we have 3 Twin Twisters. I kind of swapped these in for Lightning Storms this format because a lot of people are main decking like Imperial Order, Floodgates and stuff that Storm doesn't really have any effect on because like it's too late in response to be able to use it. So I've kind of went back to playing this for now until like IO kind of disappears off the format for a little bit. Now the rest of my side deck is, like I said, it's more catered to my locals, but it's also kind of more catered to what's coming in the future format here. And it's also all crossout targets pretty much. So we do play like the Triple Lancia for the Virtual World matchup, even though you don't really care about, you know, stuff getting banished or whatever because most of your stuff goes back to the deck anyway. Also, it's for PK Fire at my locals, PK, and Tri-Brigade. Tri-Brigade's really good. Like, that's really good at stopping Tri-Brigade. Then we play the other 2 Nibiru's and the 3rd Ash because... you know, you never know when you're actually going to like side out Nibiru. You can side this in, or when you want to side out another hand trap that sucks and side the other 2 Nibiru's in for specific matchups. Or if you guys want, you don't even have to play the other 2 Nibiru's. You can actually, what I might consider like siding or main decking if I can find the room somehow, is Macrocosmo and D-Fisher. But if I'm going to do that, then I'm going to take these out of side deck because I don't really like the Lancia because they conflict with them. And then last, we played the Triple Droll and Lockbird. This is mostly for the Drytron matchup or other Rogue matchup. This card just really hits Rogue. Also, you can side it in for, you know, Crossout Designator. You can side in 1. Like, that's what I like about the variety of all these hand traps in my side deck, is you can just go ahead and switch them in and out and everything that you need to do, just according to the format. So, that's it for this deck profile. I want to, you know, shout out to Robbie for shouting me out in his one of his old like recent videos. Shout out to my team Number Hunters. Shout out to my friend Sean. You guys can go check out his channel at Dreadmaster Gaming. I'm on there and you can watch me play Tri-Brigade. Shout out to my buddy Matt and his channel Morbid Nexus. He was the guy who helped me open my 10 on my live Twitch channel. And I mean, other than that, you know, I think that's about it. Shout out to Rivals Gaming for, again, you know, being one of the best card shops in the state of Indiana. So, but thank you guys for joining and watching the video. I will catch you guys later. Peace out.